News of a serial rapist in the London Metropolitan Police ranks. A serving police officer has admitted to a series of crimes against women, including 24 counts of rape over a period of 18 years. Arrested Metropolitan Police officer David Carrick pleaded guilty to 49 rape-related offences across 2 decades. He was arrested in October 2021. On Monday, Carrick admitted to rape and indecent assault of a 40-year-old woman in 2003, besides 43 other counts of crimes against women between March 2004 and September 2020. He said he repeatedly used his role as a police officer to put fear into women. A senior officer said Carrick's crimes were unprecedented in policing. Calling for reforms in London's Metropolitan Police, the Metropolitan Police say they are investigating about 1,000 sexual and domestic abuse claims involving 800 of their officers. The police commissioner has announced that all the 45,000 officers and staff would be rechecked for past offences. The crime has further raised questions about the efficiency of the Met Police after it was hit by a series of scandals in the last year. A series of recent scandals have shed light on what the UK police watchdog called a culture of misogyny and racism in London's police service. The Metropolitan Police have issued an apology with regard to Carrick. They say Carrick's pattern of abuse should have been spotted by the department. They have issued an apology to the victims.
This is devastating. It's devastating for the victims that have had to go through pain and suffering at the hands of a serving police officer. It is devastating to the trust and confidence that we are working so hard to earn from women and girls across London. It's devastating to colleagues of David Carrick, but we know this is a day that policing has definitely taken a step.
British Home Secretary Suella Braverman has said standards and culture in the British police need to change. She also said the event was a sobering day for the Metropolitan Police Service.
Well, it's clear that today is a sobering day for the Metropolitan Police Service and indeed for the whole policing family throughout the country. This appalling incident represents a breach of trust. It will affect people's confidence in the police, and it's clear that standards and culture need to change in policing.
A spokesperson for the British Prime Minister has called the case appalling. An independent review of London's Metropolitan Police said last year that radical reform was needed with regard to how the force deals with misconduct allegations faced by hundreds of its own staff and officers. Our correspondent Alex Isaac now joins us live from London with more inputs on this story. Alex, what a shocker. Even though this isn't the first time that allegations of this nature have been levelled against a Met Police officer, but you actually have a situation where this man has admitted to almost 50 counts of rape and sexual assaults. Now, clearly this is going to not just dent the image of the Met, but perhaps lead to a serious erosion of credibility.
You're absolutely right. It's absolutely shocking, and it's a wonder if he would have admitted guilt if he had been continuing to get away with his actions. Now, the Metropolitan Police are under a lot of pressure to make some reforms, and quickly. But there are a lot of internal issues. The process to fire somebody from the police force has 6 stages, and that can take up to a year. But also, while that person is undergoing all of those 6 stages, they are still on duty, so can still continue to carry out any activity if it's of criminal or abusive nature. There are a lot of problems with all of the procedures that are ongoing. They say that the whole process is slow and ineffective. When a person outside or inside the force complains about an officer, it's taken usually quite slowly, and by that time that officer may have moved on, and they don't count all of the complaints against that one officer as they look forward, they take them one at a time. So that's why all of these can be let go, and a lot of problems when we see now in hindsight that there was 9 complaints only recently against David Carrick, and why people are saying, well, hang on a minute, how come he wasn't brought up quicker? That's because this process is really ineffectual, and that's what does need to change. And it looks like the government and the Metropolitan Police are going to be moving forward and making those changes, because that is a legal change that needs to happen to ensure that others do not carry out horrific crimes like this former police officer.
Well, clearly the calls for police reforms will in fact now only grow stronger. Thanks very much, Alex, for getting us all those details.